Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So of course it's just ended there, down at the Emirates, Arsenal 0, Newcastle United 0, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on this game. It was a big game for both sides. Of course, Arsenal looking to extend their lead at the top of the table, with them going into this game on 43 points going into this game. And of course, Newcastle were on 34 points going into this game. Now, both teams have come away from this game, of course, with only a point to gain from the game. And of course, I'm sure Man City will be looking at this one and enjoying it, because that means that Arsenal don't extend their lead further away. It's great for us as well because we're still in third place in the table. So they don't get a chance to extend their lead ahead of us as well. But also, Man United are behind us in fourth place, having won 3-0 in their game against Bournemouth. That, of course, puts them on 35 points. But the one good thing about that is that, of course, Newcastle have a 21-point goal difference to, of course, Man United 7. So we are well ahead in the goal difference department compared to, of course, Man U, who are in fourth. But talking about the game tonight against Arsenal, like I say, it's just ended there down at the Emirates, 0-0 in the game. And arguably, Newcastle should have been 1-0 up before the half time, of course, came when Joe Linton got probably the best chance of the game to put away. And unfortunately, it went off the top of his head. If he could have got it onto his forehead, it would have been in the back of the net. Newcastle would have been going in at half time, 1-0 up in the game against Arsenal. But I was watching it on Sky Sports. Gary Neville obviously doing the call commentary on there. And all match, Gary Neville was not giving Newcastle an ounce of respect for where we are in the league. They were just talking, basically saying that, by the way they were talking, it sounded like we were there on a fluke. And it's not the case. Look at the way we've performed this season. Look at the way we performed there tonight, down at the Emirates. We were absolutely on fire. We performed amazingly. We put in a really good display as well. And we were very unlucky not to come away from this game with a win. The referee as well kind of lost control of the match with his decisions. He booked two Newcastle players in the space of a minute, for piddly, crappy, soft challenges, and then he did the similar situation again in the second half. For me, he just completely lost the match. Andy Madley, of course, reffing the game. There was a shout, in my opinion, for a penalty in the game. Dan Burn getting taken down, but they looked at it on VAR. Of course, Stuart Atwell on VAR, and he said that it wasn't a penalty. Looking at it back on the replay, you could see that, there wasn't as much in it as first thought. So I, I've kind of got to agree with Atwell on that one. But at the end of the day, we've put in a really good showing there. We've shown that, we are a team to beat this season. We are up there for a reason. We are in that position for a reason. It's not fluke like pundits like Gary Neville will have you believe. We're not there by a fluke. We're there on merit. We're there on work and dedication. That is why we're in this position where we are right now, because of the work rate, the amount of effort that is being put in, all the team pulling in the right direction. So don't listen to the likes of, them pundits out there like Gary Neville, saying that this is a fluke. This is anything but a fluke. Newcastle are absolutely on fire this season, and we've come up against a team in Arsenal who are also on fire. sitting top of the Premier League table for a reason. They've been putting in some pretty good performances themselves this season, and I hold my hands up, when I did my Premier League prediction table at the beginning of the season, I didn't think Arsenal would be performing like this. I think I put them somewhere around 6th in the table on my predictions. So, just basically off of how they played against us last season and how they played last season as well in the league, because they weren't that amazing last season, Arsenal. But this season, I'll give Mikel Arteta his credit. He's done some pretty good stuff there at Arsenal this season. But we have as well. Eddie Howe has. Eddie Howe's done fantastic since coming into Newcastle as the manager. Of course, taking the job when we were 19th in the table, and in the space of a year, he's turned that around. We're now at the top half of the table. We are in the top 4 in the table. We're 3rd place in the Premier League, and if we can, still be in that position come March or April, then that would be absolutely massive. But yes, we didn't pick up a win tonight. Would have been nice to pick up the win. Would have been nice to get 3 points down at the Emirates. But look at the positives here. We haven't lost the game. We've still gained something from the game. We've still, got games ahead that are going to be winnable games for us. So we do need to look at the positives here. And them are some big, big positives. Of course, the January transfer window is open as well, so that allows us a chance to go and recruit some players and strengthen in areas where we do need to strengthen. There was some areas you could see tonight where we could do with a little bit more depth there. Of course, with Almiron going off, Murphy coming on. Murphy, though, however, did play really well when he did come on. Chris Wood, on the other hand, he had a chance where, albeit he was offside, but he didn't know that at the time. He did have a chance where he was one-on-one with Ramsdale, and instead of going for the shot and taking it, and then seeing if he was offside, he decided to pass the ball back to try and get a Newcastle player. That is something, that we definitely need, sorted at Newcastle, but we do have a boost in that going into this game. Of course, that Isak is now back. He's in full training. He's done the contact sessions and he seems okay. So, we might get to see him in the game coming up against Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup. Then, of course, after that, we'll probably get to see him in the league, of course. But we do need to take our time with him. We do need to give him, a game here and there, a couple of minutes here and there. Don't rush him back into the side. And, Eddie Howe knows this stuff. Eddie Howe knows what he's doing. And, at the end of the day, we've still come away with something from down at the Emirates. We haven't come away on the end of a defeat. We've come away with 13 games now unbeaten in the Premier League, 15 games unbeaten in all competitions, and we are still powering away in this season. And hopefully, like I say, we can still be doing it come March, April time, because then if we are, it's going to be an absolutely amazing season, and what a turnaround it is. Like I've just said earlier in the video, from when Eddie Howe came in when we were 19th in the table, and he's took all the way up, to 11th place finish last season. Now we're in this season and we're currently 3rd in the league, 18 games played. Some teams have played 16 games, some people have played 17 games. But we've played 18 games along the likes of Brentford, Leicester, of course, who have played 18 games. Bournemouth has, Everton have, but there's still a few teams that have only played 16 or 17 games. But looking at the Premier League table, it's looking really interesting. And if we can recruit really well in this window, maybe James Maddison coming in, Tielemans as well is another one that's being linked to come in this window, then, if we get them kinds of players in, look at their numbers, look at what they've done this season for Leicester City. If you get the numbers of Maddison, what he's done for Leicester this season, and you put that to Newcastle's team and the way we play and the play style we have and the mentality of Eddie Howe as well, and all of the other factors as well, like the players around him, Bruno, Big Joe, Miggy, Maxi. It's going to be absolutely interesting to see where we are come the end of the season. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags, and I'll see you all next time. However, lads.